Hi, welcome back to Guessagaingaming, and today I'm going to be playing a game called Stranded Alien Dawn. It's a game that I've kind of wanted to pick up for a while. I've waited for it to come down in price in the PlayStation Store in a sale. It's also a game I kind of earmarked to buy to play on the channel a bit. And if you'd watched the last videos, series I did anyway, it was about a game called Surviving the Aftermath. So this is similar. It's almost similar except for the fact you're playing individuals, whereas in Surviving the Aftermath you're playing more as a whole colony. But there's a lot of similarities with it. Of course, this one you're on an alien world. In the Surviving the Aftermath you're in a post-apocalyptic society. But if you remove all those kind of bits and pieces, the actual outcome and the overall sort of package is a bit similar. Anyway, I'm going to start it from like the original start, how you load up. This is a startup screen, which is what startup screens look like normally, so it's nothing spectacular. The graphics are nice. It's got a kind of Firefly kind of music sound to it, which is very nice. So we'll just start a new game. We don't want to do the tutorial really, although I would advise you to do it, because this game is a little bit hard to pick up straight away. So you get this thing, it tells you you can have different scenarios. I think there's a trading outpost where you've gone there to physically trade goods. There's a military outpost with different possibilities, different reasons you're there, and there's a crash landing. The crash landing is the obvious one that you'd see when you want to pick up this game, so we'll go with that. I've not done the others. You get the choice of a region, which all look very nice. That one looks nice. We'll go that one. You get the choice of a moon, name, place. We'll go for Nix. Chaos doesn't sound good, does it? Game difficulty. Because we're starting out, I'm going to put this on easy because it's just a tutorial kind of thing. I wouldn't say this game is difficult, but it's not easy to pick up all the bits and pieces, like many of these kind of colony management games. And if you're very familiar with these and you pick them up quickly, maybe it is very easy to pick up. But I would say against Surviving the Aftermath, this is more difficult to pick up straight away. So that's how you set up. Like I said, when you first go into it, I'd advise you play the tutorial, and all these things you don't need to adjust them because you won't know. I don't really know. You just go with it. Go with what it gives you. Then you get this page, which is where the fun starts, and you get to pick your 4 survivors. So in a sense, again, like Surviving the Aftermath, these are like the specialists, but you haven't got the colony. So you get to pick different people. They've all got nice little backstories, and I can tell you that some of their traits do come into play in the game. If you get ones that are kind of, I don't know, for example, sulky and annoying, they become annoying. So it is important, their personality traits. Also, as you can see on the right, they've got skills, and some of them don't do certain things at all. Some don't research, some don't do combat, and they've all got different skills. And it's very important at the beginning, I'd say, to kind of balance out your survivors a bit, to pick ones that have all got different things. So, for example, going with this, we got this guy who's okay in combat too. Is, you know, he's all right. He doesn't mind cooking a bit. Construction he can do, not that much. Farming he's okay, and he's interested in doing physical stuff. He's not good with healing intellect. Let's see, she, the next one along, which one along, is good with healing. That's important. She's good with farming. That can be good. She doesn't mind cooking. She's good with cooking. Indifferent to combat. Okay, well, I suppose if you're a healer, you wouldn't really want to be doing combat. She's relatively good with intellect. So except for combat, she's okay with things. We'll keep her. She's good with combat-ish. She's intellectual, very interested in farming. She might do. She's quite good with healing, but we've already got a healing one, and she's no good in combat, so we'll get rid of her. I have to say that I always pick the same one. Not all of them, but one. I always have this one because she's very good in combat, and she's good with healing, and doesn't mind a bit of crafting. And I find that she's the kind of go-to one to do the kind of almost donkey work things, and because she's good in combat and healing, that makes her useful. So I have her. I want to see if I can find anyone that's better in construction. We've got her. The other thing you might want is someone that's good in intellect, because they can do research quicker. But I'll come to that. So we've got him. Let's see if we can find somebody better. There's another guy somewhere. Oh, he's good in combat, but again, not good in those other things. He's okay. That one is very good in construction, so we'll have him. Some of them are related. You'll find it says where it says relationships. She's the half sister of Ken, which means that either she is alive on the planet somewhere and we've not found her, or she died in the crash. Sometimes you do get other survivors come along, so she might be okay. I've not played this game on one playthrough long enough to find out whether it affects somebody if they realise their sister or their mother or their whatever spouse is dead. I assume it would. He's another intellect one. Who have we got with intellect? We've got her. No, she'd I've used her before, so it's hard to get an exact balance. And the first time I played through, I didn't have a good balance, and one of the people was very, I'm not going to say which one, but one of them was kind of very annoying, and so I got annoyed with that playthrough straight away. And so that's good actually, because what it means is the characters come through strongly as who they are and what they do, but you'll need to give it consideration. So it's not like Surviving the Aftermath in that the specialists are just like tick specialists. It's like that one does that and that and that, but they don't have character traits or personalities, and this they do. And the only reason I'm comparing it to Surviving the Aftermath isn't because there's no other games like Surviving the Aftermath or this, but because I played Surviving the Aftermath on this channel last, so that's why I said I'd do this one next. So there you go, we've got our crew, and we just start. So what I'll say about this game is when I first played it, I found the overall controls a bit hard to get a grip of. I'll show you what I mean when we get into it. So there's our spaceship, or our escape pod, I assume, which is going to crash somewhere in the wilderness of this alien world. Boom. And there we are. And we've crashed. And there we are, and you get zooming quite well. These little things lying around are the supplies from the crash ship, which they'll use. Some of them are food, supplies, some will be guns, which will come to that in a later video probably. But they'll use them. So at the beginning you won't need to worry about food, because if you look at the top little panel, the knife and fork, that we've got 80 in rations, so there's no rush for food. You will want it, but there's no desperate rush. So at the moment you can see 3 of them have got a question mark, which means they're not really doing anything, and the lady who was, I think her name, Mackie, who is the healer, she's crying because she's upset about the situation, which you kind of would be if you've just crashed on an alien planet, a spaceship. I get that. So you get this, which is that's the overall bar of the big middle bar is how you select all these things, and then it's R1 to go along and R1 to go. You can jump backwards and forwards. That's how you get to all that. But first off, you want to kind of be doing something, and how you do that is there's Rita. So we'll click on Rita, and you send them to do something. So there's some grass there, and it says activity idle, so we send her there, and it says you can either cut the unknown grass or you can observe it, and you do that by pressing directional buttons. You press left, it goes to observe, and down goes to cut, and we'll observe it. And what that means is she will go and look at it, and it's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it says. She'll sit down and examine it and look at it, and she'll get a grasp of what that is and how that can be useful and the particulars of the grass. And that's a nice feature in this game. I like that a lot. Actually, Quinn's doing that, but anyway, you find that sometimes in this game, the crew themselves prioritise who's going to be doing something by who's nearest or who's best. So sometimes whoever is nearest will pick it. So we're going to pick that bush there, which is a peculiar palm, and again we'll just go to observe, and we'll just press that, and someone, this time Rita will do it, and she'll go and do that. Nova, who's our weapons scavenging lady, doesn't really observe stuff, so we'll send her to do something. We'll send her to get some, we can scavenge that, which we will, and Nova will do it, because as I said, I found in this that often they do their own thing. So basically you select the task, and whoever's nearest or available might do it. That can become a little bit frustrating sometimes when you've got someone who's very high on, say, research, and you want to research something, but someone's nearer and they go and do it instead, and then the person that's researching might go to bed and someone will take over. So it works like that. It's a good system in that it's probably more realistic, because someone will go to bed and someone else might take over, but sometimes it's a little bit frustrating because you want one person who's very good at it to do the research. So we've got Mackie. I don't remember what Mackie does. Does she research things or does she study things? I don't know. What's this here? Big leaf plant. So we'll see. If what will happen, I'll do it now. If we press, okay, she'll go and observe it. If she couldn't observe things because she hasn't got that trait or interest, then it will just stay like that as a task. And when the other two guys finish their observations, they will go and do that instead, and we have to find another job for her. It will tell you if your guys, your crew are idling, and it will say it's idle. And there's occasions where you can't kind of find something for one person to do, because some of them have got, that's why I like this Nova one. There's others like her, I'm sure, but I just found her straight away, and she's got high combat. But it's because she scavenges. So basically there's always going to be, it's the one task is always going to be, so there's always something you can scavenge, something you can cut down, something you can dig up. So she's always going to have something to do even if she's idle, whereas some of the other ones that are a bit more finicky, they only like research and they like intellectual stuff, and they'll find it that you won't be able to find things for them to do sometimes, but you'll see. So it's raining, we all got wet, but it is what it is. You just crashed and you survived, so you know, suck it up. Okay, so Ken's finished his observation of that, and now we find it's a giant grass. Sounds like something in the Mafia. It's a giant grass, that's its kind of stats. He decided to call the tall, dense grass giant's grass. Well, he's got an original brain. And that tells you how it'll grow, and if you grow it, how long it'll take to grow. You can grow things later. It gives you the various stats. It will make hay if you cut it down. And so now we're going to want to build something to sleep in. I suppose that was kind of obviously coming. And so you go to that bar, which is the middle bar, the big bar, and you go on R1, and it will say shelter, which is this, and you have to press on it twice, and you've only got scrap metal at the moment. Now this is one of the things I found a bit fiddly in this game. It's the placing things, especially at the beginning when I wasn't used to it. I found the directional way of doing it a bit odd, because it's very hard to get very close to it, if that makes sense. So I'm moving closer, but really that's as close as I can get. And you'll see how that can be a bit fiddly when you're trying to place very small things. But anyway, so there's our shelter. We're going to place it there for want of anywhere better. and Quinn will now go and build it. You can see the little icons on their pictures. So Nova's got the little box which she's scavenging, Rita and Mackie are eating, and they'll do that themselves. You don't need to tell them to eat. They'll do that all on their own. It's quite cute actually, because even if they're in the middle of a job, they'll go and eat. And sometimes they'll go for a walk to relax, so they do their own things, which is good. Mackie's finished whatever she was doing. Or she was observing that, wasn't she? So you need to go and check sometimes, and no, it's this. So Mackie researched this. It's called a purple leaf, big towering plant. I couldn't help it captivated by its wide, sturdy purple leaves. So she's called it purple leaf. So she's got the same kind of imagination level as Quinn, but never mind. And you can harvest that and make sticks, and it will tell you all the bits and pieces about it, what you can do with it. If we can check on, there's a tree there. So there's a tree. Mackie's available. So again, we just do observe, and she'll go and observe the tree. And she'll do it all on her own. Quinn's now. Let me see Quinn. He hasn't finished that. Oh, he has finished the shelter. Okay, Quinn. He's finishing the shelter. Oh no, he's not. Has he? He's eating in the middle of it. Okay. So you've got the shelter. I know it's not got a roof, but it has got a roof, if that makes sense. It just doesn't show on here because it'd be even more fiddly. So he's off to scavenge because we've not given him a new task. So what you need to do then is build beds. And again, you just go to where it says camp, sleeping spot. Now this I found really fiddly to start with. So you get the bed, and you can see it's that green thing. You'll look for it at the beginning. Where is it? And I couldn't find a way, and I still can't. You can rotate it, but I couldn't find a way to get closer. And what I've worked out is where you think it's going to be, it never is. So you have to look at those squares. The grid thing is the key. Now you can see, looking at the grid, it's in all the grid and right at the back of the shelter. And then you press that, and it is. But I couldn't get that to make sense to me at the beginning. So, which was annoying. So. But it's one of those things you may pick it up straight away, but once you get it, it's fine. But it was slightly annoying to do, and I was thinking it must be a better way to do this. So you press on that again, and we'll make another. We need 4 beds. Obviously, we've got 4 people, so there again. You can see just that little thing where it'd just be helpful if you could just move a little bit nearer. You can delete things if you put them in the wrong place, which you will. So we've got 1 shelter, but we need another. That's why I had Nova get metal for the shelter. And then we'll build another shelter. And again, these things, you can turn them around with the R button, so that's fine. But again, you get this weird thing where it won't really do it close up. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, I think the more you get used to it, the easier it is. When I've been playing this for quite a while, it got easier. But having said that, it is a little bit fiddly when you're trying to do more close around things in camp, and you're trying to put things in very specific places. It's a little bit fiddly. So we've got that, and of course we need beds in that. So again, we'll do that. The good thing is, once you've done this, you've done it, and you will only need to do it again if a new member of the crew gets found, which doesn't happen that often, at least to the bits I've got to. So yeah, like I said, it's always one further back than you think it's going to be. So they have to. You can see Mac is transporting the materials because Ken's making it and she's bringing the stuff, so that's all good. 1 more bed. I forgot, we aren't 1 person sleeping. On the floor or the grass. They get upset if they have to sleep on the grass, and if they have to eat standing up, they get upset. Oh, you see, that's what happened there. I placed that bed too far forward. So what I'll do now is I'll delete it by pressing X, and then I'll go over there and get rid of it, and then I'll try and do it again in a more. But like I said, it's a bit fiddly because you'd think you'd be a much more close-up view, but you're relying on that grid thing. I guess that's why the grid thing's there, but I don't know why they couldn't make it so you can zoom into like that. This is what I assumed you were going to do from the beginning. You could zoom in like this and then place it like you would in most games, but you can't. You've got that kind of distant view, which can be very fiddly if you're looking through bushes or if it's something small. So there's that. Mackie's looked at a tree. No, she's still looking at a tree. But it's quite interesting how they swap up, because I asked Mackie to do that. She was doing that, but then she's not doing that. I think Rita's doing that now. So there's Mackie just standing there, and the little question mark basically means they're idling. So let's see what else we've got. We've got a bush thing there. Have we observed that? No. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. We want to observe it. So yeah, and there you go. See, so Quinn's gone to observe that, although I didn't particularly want him to, but it doesn't matter. Nova just scavenges. She's a trooper. She just goes on with, I think her backstory, she's a ex-police or something, but she just kind of does that a lot. And that's good, because you need someone to do that. So we want some kind of hay kind of materials, now some grass, you'll need those kind of things. So we will press. You can batch press things, but get someone to cut the grass. Will Mackie cut the grass? I can't remember if she cuts grass or not. Someone will do it. And how this works then is Nova will end up doing it, because nobody. What happens is you'll end up with a lot of people that don't want to do certain things, or Quinn's going to do it, or want to do intellectual things, like you can see Mackie and Rita are both doing that intellectual kind of observing stuff. And look, Nova's gone to sleep, but she spent the whole day scavenging. Everyone else has just been kind of building little things or looking at plants, and she's been scavenging a metal ship hulk for the whole day. And that's kind of how it works. So you need somebody who you can kind of always rely on to do the scavenging bits, and who'll just go and do it when the other people are doing what they need to do. So they'll all go to sleep now. Not because you ask them to, because they will, and I like that as well. You don't need to tell them to go to sleep. They know they need to sleep, they know they need to eat, and they'll all go and do it. Sometimes you'll find that one person will keep slightly different hours. So for example, Mackie's still off observing something, and the other three have gone to bed. What we will need to build is a table for them to eat. You can stack things, so I could, like for example, Mackie's going to eat and then she's going to go to bed. She shouldn't eat and then go straight to bed. Anyway, so you can stack stuff. What I mean by that is, there's the counter. We want furniture. No, we want can. No, we don't. We want furniture. We haven't got any wood, that's why we can't do that. I forgot to get wood. So you can stack stuff. If I'd had enough things, I could have put the table, that he would have made it in the morning, or someone would have made it, but we haven't. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some, no. Cut some trees down in the morning. Guess who's going to end up doing that? Nova. So anyway, that's Stranded Alien Dawn. This is a very early kind. You can pause it by using L2, by the way, at the top, and then you can go faster or slower. And I've just paused it. So this is Stranded Alien Dawn. This is the kind of first setup. I've not gone through it in exactly the way I'd have gone through it when I first did it, because I kind of did it in the tutorial way, which is maybe how you should do it, which is build the shelters, scavenge exactly what you want to build the shelters, and then scavenge exactly what you want to build the table and the chairs and the beds and etc, etc. But I've done it in the kind of way I wanted to, because I know from playing it that having a gap to observe some bushes and do that kind of thing won't hurt. But you'll need to do both. And like I said, they don't like standing up and eating. They're very unappreciative of surviving. They've only survived one day so far, and they get annoyed and upset by standing up and eating. Well, if I'd crashed in a spaceship and I was managing to eat anything other than Earth or bits of aliens, I would be very happy. So, and they've got places to sleep and shelter, and so there's nothing attacking them. So I would be happy, but they're often not. Anyway, that's Stranded Alien Dawn. So thanks for watching the first video in this little series. I'm going to make a few more of the next bit of construction, some more scavenging, some more harvesting, build a few more bits and pieces, and we'll see how it goes. The next video I make with this will be just a continuation, direct continuation, and then I'll see how it goes whether I need to play on a bit off video channel to like move it on a bit. But anyway, this Stranded Alien Dawn. Thanks for watching, and from Guessagaingaming, take care for now.